first video for Uploadexpress TTrak modules, and I have no experience at all in making anything in N-scale. I have a small collection of N-scale. I'm mostly a 2-rail O-scaler, but you wouldn't know it really from watching my channel. I don't have much in the way of model making, more just show my completed models. I don't know how much anyone knows about me. I am one of the founders, along with Heath Hurwitz, of the modeling group Manhattan Modelers, and it's a model group directed at people who either live in New York City or who are modeling New York City. So we get a lot of interest in people from outside of the city who see us as a resource, and we will share what we can about what's happening in New York City, or the history of mostly freight terminal railroads. A lot of them are gone now, but we can share what we can, and we'll show what's still around, which is not really much. I mean, it's more historic. Railroads in New York City tend to be passenger railroads. There's absolutely no freight railroads in Manhattan anymore. The big railroads are Amtrak coming through Penn Station, Metro North coming out of Grand Central, and New Jersey Transit also in Penn Station, and Long Island Railroad in Penn Station. There are other terminals, passenger terminals, popular ones. The 125th Street Station is popular in Metro North. All Metro North trains tend to stop there on their way north, according to the various lines that they could go on. Also Atlantic Barclay Station, Atlantic Terminal. That's a big Long Island Railroad terminal. There is some freight in Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx, but that doesn't tend to be as widely covered as the railroads in Manhattan, because that's where the tourists tend to go. They tend to go to Manhattan. Obviously, the most popular former freight area would be the High Line, and for my module that I chose to make in TTrak, I was really interested in less interested in the formality of TTrak being one line runs one direction, one line runs the other direction. I really I've been doing a lot more operations, so I wanted to see how I could use the TTrak as a way to model actual operations. So I wanted to have some way of operating it as if it was an actual railroad with work to be done. So I was looking at the High Line specifically. There's one area kind of in the 20th Street area, kind of 22nd Street through 24th Street. And there was one little wide spot in the High Line where there was a building that had a passing siding. So most of the High Line was 2 tracks wide, and this one spot there was a 3rd track that would allow passing, but it could also service the industry that was there. And I mean, that's still visible now in the tourist version of the High Line that's there. There's a wide spot, and it's a uniform block size running from about 14th Street all the way up to kind of the Inwood area. There's a little kind of angling out area around Manhattanville, around 125th Street, where it jumps from 125th Street to 130th Street, because the shape of the island kind of takes a turn up there. So, but for the most part, it's a uniform size. Running north to south, the numbered streets, they are uniform distance from one street to the next, and there's a different length for the blocks running east to west, the avenues. So between 11th Avenue and 10th Avenue, it's a much longer block than it is running from 22nd Street to 23rd Street. Some quick notices about what we're looking at here. These maps that I'm showing are Sanborn insurance maps, and they were maps made by an insurance company, and they had information on all the buildings in the city. The color of the building shows whether it is a wooden building or a masonry building. Masonry and cement buildings obviously were easier to insure because they're more fire resistant than a wooden building. But that's what the colors are for. If you look, there's actually a lot of information on them. The building heights are shown. There's both a elevation by foot as well as a number that has underlined, and that shows the height of the building. So a 5-story building would have a 5 with a line under it. Let's see what else. Also, in some cases they show they'll show things like this B&O freight terminal. The rail lines shown are just general. They don't really have the specific rail format, just the fact that there are rails there. So I wouldn't follow them for track layout plans, but for exact building heights and so on, it is helpful. Sometimes they even show where skylights are or where elevator shafts are, so they can really help you come up with the way that buildings are. Also, let's see, I also have been, there's a photographic links to photographs of each building in New York City. I haven't fully gotten into that yet. I will once I start modeling the building textures. My plan is that I will use these Sanborn insurance maps to cut through the module. Since I don't want to introduce like an elevation change, you can't really in TTrak. This railroad line is called the High Line. So instead of building up, I'm actually going to dig down. The TTrak modules are set up at a uniform height, so the track will all be the same. I'm just going to cut away into the base of the module and put another deck below it. So the High Line will actually just be a suppressed line. So the streets, 23rd Street and 22nd Street, will be depressed lower than the rest of the module. So it'll be like a negative space for the street. So the track will be at the same height as all of the other TTrak modules, but I'm just digging away where the street will be and where like parking lots or things like that. There is one place where I am trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm going to probably just go with the block width is the width of the center module, and then the street facades on the 23rd Street South and 22nd Street North will all be attached to the sides of modules 1 and module 3. So module 1 and module 3 will have 22nd Street and 23rd Street. The center module will just be that center block between 23rd and 24th, or 22nd and 23rd Street. And that's the way I'm going to do it. One issue that I'm looking at is that on the block, kind of one half of the block is actually a parking lot, so there's no building to the west of the High Line. So I think I'm going to either make it a fenced lot or I'm going to make it a one-story building. So it will just be the roof of a building. So I'm kind of stretching it. I'm willing to make some compromises. So that is my plan. I have a laser cutter that I'm going to use to rework these amazing Klawndyke modules that we're going with for the Uploadexpress. So it should work. I mean, that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. I'll be building in the next episode, and I'll let you know how it goes. This process is going to be a bit of a marathon. It's not all going to be done in a week, even though the modules are extremely easy to put together. I have a different plan for what I'm going to do. If all goes according to plan, I'll end up modeling about 3 blocks of the area around 23rd Street. So I'll be able to have that building with the passing siding, as well as a little bit of just straight two-track running, and that's my plan. Instead of just limiting myself to one TTrak module, I decided to go with 3, and that's so the center module will kind of be 3 tracks wide, and the 2 end modules will have the 2 tracks as well as the switch to get onto the 3rd track. So that's my plan, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll be able to link to some of the other modules. There are some really interesting things being done in this group, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.